everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video, we're going to be doing something very different, but also very exciting. A little backstory on this: my family is currently in the process of moving, and we were cleaning things out. And when we were cleaning things out, we found all of these like old Disney pamphlets, this Disney guidebook, and I started looking through them, and I got the idea that why not go through them with you guys? I feel like this is something you guys would probably find very interesting and very fun. So let's talk Disney. I'm gonna start off with saying these are all from the year, okay, not all. So this is from 2001. This is the 100 Years of Magic, just overall Disney. And then I have a All-Star Resort pamphlet, and then guidebooks for each of the parks for the year 2000, as well as a Disney dining pamphlet. Now, we used to go to our travel agent all the time to book Disney vacations. We still do. So that's where we got all of these, but my parents actually almost threw it out, and I was like, excuse me. But I also think you guys will find it very interesting at some of these prices. So let's dive in. First, I'm gonna start with the least exciting one, which is still exciting to me. It's the All-Star Resort Disney Everything is Big Except the Price pamphlet. So this is just general information about the pricing for the resorts as far as the All-Stars go. So this is what it looks like when you unfold it. You have the All-Star Sports, and then All-Star Movies, or I guess that's music, never mind. I don't see movies on it. Was movies not a thing back then? I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it was. It definitely was, because that's where we stayed. It kind of just gives you an overview of staying here if you're on a budget, but other than that, it doesn't really give you prices. Oh, starting from just $69 a night for up to 2 adults and 2 children per room. So other than that, it doesn't really give you much pricing. Yes, it was on the front. I just can't read apparently. So there, right there is the price for you. So enjoy the benefits of staying in a Walt Disney World Resort for just $69 a night. As many of you probably know, even on the off seasons, All-Stars usually start at about $99 a night, but once again, this was back in 2000. And you're gonna see that with a lot of these pamphlets. It's definitely a difference in pricing. Next, moving on, we are gonna do the Disney dining. So magic in the making. Disney dining. Now on the back of this, it actually says arrange it all in one call. So it gives you kind of some information about how to reserve dining, which as we know now is a little different than, oh, my ring light is gonna do this, isn't it? Which is a little different than kind of what you would do now. You would typically go online to make your dining reservations, where this is telling you basically to call to make dining reservations. So definitely making the reservations alone are very different than what they were. So pricing, a $1 sign would have meant under $10 per person. Now, as many of us have known or figured out throughout the years, it's very hard nowadays to get anything for under $10. Mickey pretzels now are like $7, which is wild. So definitely don't know if that's true anymore. $2 signs would be anywhere from $11 to $20 per person, which I think still is probably, the $20 per person is probably more of the average versus the $11. 3 money signs would be $21 to $50 per person, and then 4 money signs over $75 per person. And this is based on adult guest dinner check average. Once again, prices, probably not the same anymore. When you open up the first fold, you get this nice little Mickey pan page. I don't even know what you call this. And other than just some general information, it doesn't really tell you too much. And then you unfold it, and then we start to get into the actual lists of some of the recommended dining. So for resort dining, it talks about Cape May Cafe at Disney Beach Club Resort. Talks about breakfast being 2 money signs. So if we go back to the back, that would be anywhere from $11 to $20 per person. Now, I've never been to Cape May, but just looking at this, I can probably guarantee that that is not the price anymore. And actually I can, because jumping over here, it says Cinderella's Royal Table would have been anywhere from $11 to $20, and when we went, not even very recently, I want to say we paid like $30 or $40 per person. So definitely not similar prices. There is also the Chef Mickey's Disney Contemporary for 2 money signs, 1900 Park Fare for 2 money signs for both breakfast and dinner, Liberty Tree Tavern. Now I have been here recently and it is saying it's 2 money signs. Now granted, I did get a cast member discount, but even then, before the cast member discount, I want to say it was like $40 per person. So that is not true. Crystal Palace, 2 money signs. Yeah, all of these are 2 money signs. You have Donald's Breakfastosaurus at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Do they even do that anymore? I feel like I haven't. Let me know in the comments if they still do that anymore, because I don't know. I've never seen that or heard of that. Hollywood and Vine, Garden Grill. My absolute favorite. I love Garden Grill. Cinderella's Royal Table, Artist Point at Wilderness Lodge, Ohana, Olivia's Cafe at Old Key West Resort. So then we take that page and we flip it up. Ooh, we flip it up one more. A meal that could steal the show. So these are more of the show dinners. I don't know what I'm saying today. I'm like so off. So the Polynesian Luau, and then Hoop-de-Doo Review is also on here for 3 money signs, which would be $21 to $50 per person, which that one might not be too far off. I don't think we paid too much more than that last time. And then we flip it up one more, and these are kind of a variety of what you're gonna get. So these seem to be the specialty dining in all of the different resorts once again. So you have Spoodles at Disney's Boardwalk, Yachtman's Steakhouse at Disney's Yacht Club. Honestly, I haven't heard of a lot of these, but yeah, and then California Grill. And then this just folds back up, and that's pretty much it for the dining pamphlet. This one is 100 Years of Magic, so I'm not really sure or remember what's in this. I think this is just a general kind of like come to Disney World pamphlet. So here's the first page. We're pulling all kinds of magic out of our hat for this celebration. And the 1,000-year celebration was, or the 1,000-year, the 100-year. How many times have I even said that already? The 100-year celebration with like just the decorations, I just think are so pretty. So there is that. And then you open it up. This is gonna be really hard to show you guys, but it gives you a general map of Disney World. So this shows you kind of where everything is. So where you have, you know, Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Typhoon Lagoon, oh my goodness, Disney's MGM, which we're gonna get to in the other ones, back when it was still called MGM Studios. I know so many people that still call it MGM, by the way. It shows you where the airport is, and then it kind of just gives you an idea of all of the resort areas. So it lists the Magic Kingdom resort area, Epcot resort areas, Disney's Animal Kingdom resort areas, and then Downtown Disney resort areas. Also gives you ones that are kind of related to Disney but not necessarily a Disney resort. Gives you a little overview of what you can expect at MGM Studios. MGM Studios, I can't get over that. And I really apologize if you guys can't see this, because I know that currently the ring light is kind of in the way, but. And then we have Animal Kingdom, so some highlights of Animal Kingdom. Tarzan Rocks, not there anymore. It's Tough to Be a Bug, Kali River Rapids, and Festival of the Lion King. Then we flip the page, and next up is Magic Kingdom. You've got kind of like Splash Mountain, Buzz Lightyear, Many Adventures Winnie the Pooh, and then Space Mountain, but look at what the picture is. It's like of the old Disney parade. Do you guys remember that when Mickey used to like get in the globe? It's kind of like the old theming for the Disney stores. I don't know if you guys like remember like the old theming of like the Disney stores, but that is very much what this reminds me of. All right, sorry if the sound just changed. I had to move some things around so I could see a little better in my camera. so I can know what I'm showing you guys instead of guessing. So then you flip the page and we have Epcot, Discover the Wonders. So you're ready for the tragedy that is no longer in Epcot. So we have Body Wars, not there anymore. Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, not there anymore. Interventions, not there anymore. And Tier Illuminations Reflections of Earth, which will no longer be there anymore. So not that that's shocking, but the fact that, you know, these attractions aren't there anymore. Like, Epcot has changed so much, and as we'll see, Hollywood Studios has changed a lot too. Like, everything's changed a lot, but Epcot has changed like so much over the years. And then it shows you some overview of the water parks, a little overview of Downtown Disney, which once again is not Downtown Disney anymore. And then this shows you the Disney Park Hopper tickets. So this will give you kind of the prices for everything and just kind of show you what's up. Disney multi-day tickets with Park Hoppers, this would be all 4 theme parks. Average it for 4-day tickets, an adult will be $192, a child would be $154. 5-day, the adult would be $217 and the child would be $172. For a Park Hopper Plus ticket, which would include all of the theme parks as well as Blizzard Beach, Typhoon Lagoon, River Country isn't there anymore either. Pleasure Island, not a thing. Disney's Wide World of Sports and Disney Quest, not a thing. You could get a 5-day ticket for $247 for an adult, $197 for a child, or you could do 6-day for $277 for an adult, $222 for a child, or 7-day for an adult would be $307 and the child would be $247. And then last, you could do an ultimate Park Hopper ticket, which is once again all of these. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So the Park Hopper Plus was not including Disney Quest. So the only extra thing you're adding will be Disney Quest, and it looks like it was adding on like a few extra dollars a day if you decided to do Disney Quest as well. Ticket prices, man, that's definitely a game changer. And it kind of explains to you also off to the side kind of what the differences are for like what each package gets you and why you should choose each option to kind of figure out what works best for you. So that is the 100 Years of Magic pamphlet. Now we're gonna go into all of the guide maps. So we're gonna start with Downtown Disney. This is Westside Pleasure Island Marketplace. I guess that's what that section used to be called. I don't know. I don't really remember too much of Downtown Disney. And then of course, World of Disney on the back with this whole like retro looking, I don't know, it's just retro looking to me. So we open it up and then Downtown Disney in a city of choices, the metropolis of fun. So this kind of just shows you what you could find at Downtown Disney. And then on the inside, always a hot time in a cool town. It shows you how to get around, bus, taxi, or by foot. Separate admission to Pleasure Island after 7 p.m. So that tells you a little bit about that. Tips and information. It shows you what's on the west side. So Downtown Disney on the west side had House of Blues and Cirque du Soleil La Nouba, which we know Cirque du Soleil is not there anymore, but House of Blues still is. And then Pleasure Island, West End Stage, Bet's Soundstage Club, Pleasure Island Jazz Company, Rock and Roll Beach Club, Mannequins Dance Palace, Motion, Comedy Warehouse, Adventurers Club, 8 Tracks, New Year's Eve Celebration, New Year's Eve 2001. Never, I don't remember any of that, to be honest. And then you have the entire map. So, going through this map obviously is not going to be helpful because Downtown Disney, aka Disney Springs, has changed so much over the years. So you'd have parking over in this area over here, and you'd come down around through here with Planet Hollywood in the center. Pleasure Island is up over here, so you would cross these bridges to get to it, and as we know, this is where the Boathouse restaurant is now, right? That's called the Boathouse restaurant? I don't know, I've never been there. So that's where the Boathouse restaurant is. Forest Cafe over here, to kind of give you an idea. So this whole part was the Pleasure Island section, and then coming down here, I'm not exactly sure what all of that is, and then the bus stop. And then of course it gives you a little thing to show you everything. So shows you about Disney Quest, House of Blues, and it gives you like a tiny description of what each thing is, as well as what time certain restaurants open. that is the Downtown Disney map. Now for the parks, I'm gonna do them in the order that I think we've seen the most change, I guess. I'm actually gonna start with Animal Kingdom just because at the time this was the newest park, because Animal Kingdom opened in 97, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it opened in 97 because I was born in 96 and I know it's a year younger than me. This was the Animal Kingdom guide map from November 25th to December 1st of 2001. Official sponsor was Kodak. We have Timon on the front with some of the performers from, it looks like, the Festival of the Lion King. And then you open it up and it talks about Disney Fast Pass, because at this time Disney Fast Pass was just starting. It tells you how does it work. Each member of your party inserts his or her park entrance ticket into the Fast Pass stations of participating attractions. So this was once again when Fast Passes were ticketed, so we're not even talking about the, you know, apps and all of that. So where can I use it? At this time it was just Dinosaur and Kilimanjaro Safari. And then it tells you kind of how Fast Passes work. So then it gives you a list of the park hours and parade times. So we had Mickey's Jammin' Jungle Parade. So that would have been at 4 p.m. daily. Camp Minnie and Mickey showtimes. There was the Festival of Lion King, which is still a thing, and Pocahontas and her forest friends, which is not a thing anymore. And then animal training sessions, which I remember those. Asia, you had Flights of Wonder, which we know have recently changed over to a, what is it called? I don't know, but I know it's like up-themed. Dinoland, Tarzan Rocks, not there anymore. And then it told you other park hours. Dining, we had Rainforest Cafe, which we still do. Character dining was Donald's Breakfastosaurus, which once again, I'm not sure if that's still a thing anymore. I don't think it is, but let me know. Restaurantosaurus, and I'm gonna point out one thing I fought with my mama about for like ever. That they sold McDonald's in Disney World. She did not believe me when I first told her, but there it is. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. There's the M. There is the M. They used to sell McDonald's because I remember I was terrified on Tower of Terror, and I got off Tower of Terror, and the only way my mom could calm me down was to give me McDonald's French fries. So that's a thing. Flame Tree Barbecue, Pizzafari, Tusker House. Yeah, a lot of these are the same. I'm not seeing anything that's not a thing anymore. But once again, the Sanalu Turan fries, McDonald's fries, were places where you could literally just get fries. And I'm pretty sure that's what they had in Hollywood Studios, but we'll see that in a second. Shopping, pretty much the same. And then you open up to the actual map. And I'm also sorry that this is probably a very long video, but I just want to show you guys an in-depth tour of these maps and how things have changed. Animal Kingdom. I'm going to go ahead and just read you all of the attractions. So the layout is pretty much the same, except what we know now as Pandora was once Camp Minnie and Mickey. So as you will also notice, in Camp Minnie and Mickey is where they used to house Festival of the Lion King. However, now Festival of the Lion King is in Africa, so it did get a new home. So this is where Pandora is. Other than that, everything else has pretty much stayed the same, but I will read you the attractions. So in Discovery Island, well, first of all, the 100 Years of Mickey, or the 100 Years of, I'm never gonna get that right. The 100 Years of Magic was the Mickey's Jammin' Jungle Parade. So that was something special that they did. So in Africa, we had Kilimanjaro Safari and then the Forest Exploration Trail. Rafiki's Planet Watch was the Wildlife Express Train, Habitat, I'm sorry. Conservation Station, and then Affection Section. Asia, Flights of Wonder, Kali River Rapids, and the Maharaja Jungle Trek. Dinoland, the Boneyard, which I have pictures of me in that boneyard. Love it. And that is where the McDonald's was, because you can see the little McDonald's M right there. So in Africa, we had Kilimanjaro Safari and then the Forest Exploration Trail. Rafiki's Planet Watch was the Wildlife Express Train, Habitat, I'm sorry. Conservation Station, and then Affection Section. Asia, Flights of Wonder, Kali River Rapids, and the Maharaja Jungle Trek. Dinoland, the Boneyard, which I have pictures of me in that boneyard. Love it. And that is where the McDonald's was, because you can see the little McDonald's M right there. There was Tarzan Rocks, Midway Games, which was brand new at the time, Triceratops Spins, which was brand new at the time as well, Dino Zoo, and then Dinosaur. Moving over to Oasis. There was the Oasis exhibit, which I'm not entirely sure what that is, because I don't even think that's a thing anymore. It was like right in the center before you hit the Tree of Life. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Yeah, you would enter, oh, okay. Yes, never mind. I know what Oasis is now. It's literally just the little section of like birds and stuff that's there. Okay, disregard. Then you had Camp Minnie and Mickey, which was the Pocahontas and her forest friends, as well as Festival of the Lion Kings. And you can meet and greet Mickey. So that is the Animal Kingdom pamphlet. Moving on to Magic Kingdom. So November 26th, once again, December 2nd, 2001, we have the Parade Float Mickey on the front and then Kodak on the back. Open it up, once again, it tells you more about the Fast Pass system. The Fast Passes you could use at Magic Kingdom at the time were Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Haunted Mansion, Jungle Cruise, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan, Space Mountain, and Splash Mountain. So same layout as before. I don't feel like I need to go over the layout every time because this will be very long. But just looking at the dining, you had Cinderella's Table, Crystal Palace, Liberty Tree Tavern, Tony's, the Plaza. So same layout as before. I don't feel like I need to go over the layout every time because this will be very long. But just looking at the dining, you had Cinderella's Table, Crystal Palace, Liberty Tree Tavern, Tony's, the Plaza, Aunt Polly's, which we know only opens, okay, it just recently started opening up again, so that's wild. Also, this gives you prices. So table service at Magic Kingdom was $15 to $22 per person. Character dining was $15 to $22 per person. Counter service was $5 to $12 per person, and then quick bites were anywhere from $1 to $7 per person. And I am like thoroughly convinced that there is nothing at Disney you can get for $1 anymore. So yeah, but yeah, the counter service, everything is pretty much the same. Quick bites, yeah, everything's the same except for Toontown Farmers Market because Toontown's not a thing anymore. So then entertainment for the day, it talks about marching prior to the Share a Dream Come True parade, marching prior to Spectrum, Magic, Tomorrowland stage, what was going on there. I guess this was just specifically to that time of year. Spectrum Magic, however, looks like it's something that went on quite frequently. I guess that was kind of like their Paint the Night, or not Paint the Night, the Electrical Parade. I am just losing it today, man. So the show times at this point in time were Share a Dream Come True parade, the Spectrum Magic parade, and then Fantasy in the Sky fireworks. So those were the fireworks, and they only ran Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Saturday. And the Spectrum Magic was only on Saturday. Showtimes for the flag retreat, tree lighting ceremony, because this was during Christmas, the Diamond Horseshoe Saloon review, I never heard of that, Cinderella's surprise celebration, Legend of the Lion King, Storytime with Belle, Sword in the Stone. Yeah, Sword in the Stone they used to have actual shows for, which I honestly never even knew until I started watching some Disney YouTubers who talked about it, and I was like, that was a thing. So we open it up, and we have, once again, just the general map of everything and the layout. The biggest thing you're gonna notice is that Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is not in this. I was trying to think the other day by memory. I guess it would go over where kind of everything, because technically Fantasyland got a whole revamp, so Fantasyland is the big like picture we're gonna look at and how it's very different from New Fantasyland. So as far as attractions, starting with Liberty Square, we had the Diamond Horseshoe Saloon review, which is not a thing anymore, the Hall of Presidents, Liberty Square Riverboat, and the Haunted Mansion. Fantasyland, It's a Small World, Peter Pan's Flight, Legend of the Lion King, Cinderella's Surprise Celebration, Cinderella's Golden Carousel, Ariel's Grotto, Fantasyland Character Festival, and Dumbo the Flying Elephant. Snow White's Scary Adventures, which are not there anymore, Fairy Tale Garden, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and the Mad Tea Party. Mickey's Toontown Fair, this whole section is no longer there. This was Mickey's Country House, Toontown Hall of Fame tent, Judge's Tent, Minnie's Country House, Walt Disney World Railroad, Donald's Boat, the Barnstormer. So as we see, like, the Barnstormer is still there, but that whole thing got revamped to Storybook Circus, so once again, that's not, like, a thing anymore. Tomorrowland, we had Tomorrowland Speedway, Tomorrowland Arcade, Space Mountain, Tomorrowland Stage, Astro Orbiter, Tomorrowland Transit Authority, Galaxy Palace Theater, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, and then the Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter, which later got changed to Stitch's Great Escape, which later got changed to a Stitch Meet and Greet, and is no longer a ride. Adventureland, the Swiss Family Treehouse, Shrunken Ned's Jr. Jungle Boats, And at the time, brand new, the Magic Carpet Rides, the Enchanted Tiki Room, Jungle Cruise, and Pirates of the Caribbean. And then Frontierland, you had Walt Disney World Railroad, Splash Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, Tom Sawyer's Island, Country Bear Jamboree, and Frontierland Shootin' Arcade. Basically, the biggest differences for Magic Kingdom were just things like Snow White, Scary Adventure, Fantasyland becoming New Fantasyland, Mickey's Toontown Fair not being there. Those are pretty much the changes with Magic Kingdom. Moving on to MGM Studios. On the front, we have the Genie and Jasmine and Aladdin in a parade, and then, of course, Kodak on the back. Once again, Fast Pass system opening up to the front. It tells you what you could use it for. So this was used for Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, Muppet Vision 3D, Rock and Roller Coaster, Sorry, my camera cut out because this is taking so long, so trying to remember where I was. So basically, there was a character dining in Hollywood Studios in the backlot section where you could meet characters like Quasimodo. And it was like Miko, Quasimodo, so I think Pocahontas might have been there too. Esmeralda was there, I don't know, Genie was there. I just have random like pictures and I couldn't figure out where it was from, and I finally figured out that that used to be a place to eat. So character dining, they have Hollywood and Vine is the only one listed, but I know that was a thing. I know it was. So it was definitely when I was younger, so I don't even know if it was a thing at this point in time either. Counter service, this was when Pizza Planet was still a thing. This is, I think that's about it. There you go, Fairfax fries, McDonald's fries right there, Fairfax fries. And I knew what stand it was too because it was near Tower of Terror. So that just goes to prove that I was not lying about that. Osborne lights were still a thing back here. So operating November 21st, 2001 through January 6th, 2002. Opening up to our big map here. And wow, we're just gonna hold this up and so much has changed. No more water tower, no more Sorcerer Mickey hat, no more anything. And then you got Phantasmic down here. So let's just run through this real quick. We have radio production. I don't even know what that is. I don't even remember what that is. You had Honey, I Shrunk the Kids movie set adventure. Not a thing. Star Tours, Indiana Jones. Sounds Dangerous, starring Drew Carey. That's not a thing anymore. Muppet Vision 3D, Hunchback of Notre Dame, a musical adventure. Backlot tour. Whole section, not here, because Star Wars, so not here. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Play It, not there. Walt Disney's One Man's Dream, thank God that's still there. The Magic of Disney Animation, not there anymore. Voyage of the Little Mermaid, Playhouse Disney Live on Stage, which was brand new at the time, and I remember going to that. Guest Information Board at Hollywood Junction, Beauty and the Beast Live, Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, and then Phantasmic. And then down here, we have new Discover the Stories Behind the Magic, which was tucked under the Sorcerer Mickey hat, and then the Great Movie Ride, actually crying. Just like looking at how much everything has shifted and how much everything has expanded and changed, it's just like wild. And I know that I said like Epcot, like, because Epcot's has went through a lot of change over the years, but as far as like more recent changes and when this map is dated, this definitely has the most visible change on it. Just like looking at it, like it's just not the same. And the last guide map we have is for Epcot, and you kind of have illuminations going off in the background here, Kodak on the back, you open it up. Fast passes for this park were Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, Living with the Land, Maelstrom, Tears, and Test Track. Opening it up, Parade and Firework Times, Illuminations, and then Tapestry of Dreams Parade. Holiday events, Lights of Winter, Cast in Bronze, Candlelight Processional Dinner Package, and then dining. This does give you some pricing. So table service was $15 to $75 per person, which makes sense because in the World Showcase, there are a lot of expensive restaurants, so that makes sense. Counter service, $5 to $14. I don't think so. Quick Bites, $1 to $7, with McDonald's fries at refreshment port. That's fun. And then character dining was Garden Grill, $15 to $25 per person. So here is the map. Now, just looking at the actual map, you're not really gonna notice too much of a difference because looking at it, there really isn't much difference other than the fact that things have changed over the years. Mexico, this is back when, before it was the Three Caballeros ride, it was the El Rio del Tiempo ride. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, I highly recommend you YouTube a video on that. Before it was the Three Caballeros, it was a ride called El Rio del Tiempo, which was very similar still to what Three Caballeros is. It's just Grand Fiesta. Why did I call it that? It's Grand Fiesta Tour, but it's very similar to what Grand Fiesta Tour was, except the only difference is Grand Fiesta Tour is obviously themed towards Three Caballeros. So, but it was different. Norway, you had Maelstrom, which cries because that's not there anymore. Now it is frozen. China, Wonders of China. Germany, there was nothing in Germany. Italy, the American Adventure, you still had the American Adventure show. We have Morocco, Gallery and Art History, Impressions de France. So a lot of this stuff, Oh Canada, is pretty much the same, other than Maelstrom and El Rio del Tiempo. So then we move over to the rides. So Leave a Legacy, which will soon be completely gone. Spaceship Earth, Ellen's Universe of Energy, which is not there anymore, and then the entire Wonders of Life Pavilion. So you had Body Wars, Cranium Command, R.I.P. Buzzy, The Making of Me, Test Track, well, this isn't Wonders of Life anymore, Test Track, Innoventions, so Innoventions East and West, Discover the Stories Behind the Magic. This is also when you had the Sum of All Thrills and every which thing that was in Innoventions. The Living Seas. The Living Seas was before it became the Seas with Nemo and Friends. And then 9 was Imagination, which was Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. So that would be where this map is confusing to me. So Imagination, Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. But it has no mention of Figment. Now I know Figment had a bunch of overhauls over the year. But I know in 2001 it would have still been a thing. So I'm wondering if it was going through one of its overhauls and just wasn't even listed on the map, because I'm not seeing it on the map, which is interesting to me. But it's where Figment is. And then you have the land, so Living with the Land, Circle of Life, Food Rocks, which is not there anymore, and then Behind the Seeds Tour. So although the map looks very similar, very familiar, everything seems to be in its place, and then you have the little future site of Mission Space over here. So everything kind of looks very, very similar, but definitely the attractions and things within it has changed so much over the years. Alright, I know this has probably been already a 30-minute video, but last but not least, I'm going to quickly go through the guidebook, and we're just going to talk about some things that I find interesting in this. So first you're going to start off and it's going to show you the whole resort area. Now thankfully this is a lot easier to show you because it's smaller, whereas those are a lot harder to show you. Then you have by type the types of restaurants that you can find throughout the Disney World Resort. And it breaks it into like seafood, family fun experience, quick and casual within the theme parks versus the resorts. So it just gives you an overview of all of the different types of dining you can get and where they are. This is kind of what I showed you before, where it says pricing, and it'll show you how many money signs equals about how much money. Then everything breaks into shopping and gives you an idea of where you can shop while on Disney property, breaking it up through Epcot, MGM Studios, the Disney Resorts, Pleasure Island, all of the character merchandise, and where you can get certain merchandise. And then it shows you recreational things like Blizzard Beach, Typhoon Lagoon, River Country, Pleasure Island, golfing, health clubs, miniature golf, jogging, movies, parasailing, petting farms, swimming, tennis, tours. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this booklet. In order for me to go through all of it, it would take probably 3 videos in itself. But yeah, it's just a nice little booklet to help show you all of your shopping, dining, and recreational options. Now, there was a book that I had, I don't know where I put it or where it is currently, but it actually showed you what it would cost you to, it was like a list of the hotels, and it would show you what it would cost you to stay at a certain resort for like peak time, or like when things are like slower in the season. It would show you like based on certain times what everything would cost you, which was so wild to see. Like, yes, everything was still expensive for that time, but like what it would cost you to stay at Beach Club then is obviously a lot different than what it would cost you now, which is expected. But I just thought you guys would like that. I hope you enjoyed that, even though it was very, very long. I don't even want to, in editing, see how long this video is. But yeah, I just had so many of these, and I wanted to show you guys how cool it was, because I was looking through these and I was like, wow. It's just wild at how much has like changed in Disney, specifically like MGM Studios and Epcot. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!